Some games are made to make you feel like the best guy, the hero, a boy or Girl Scout with superpowers. And some games let you terrorize everyone. Doesn't mean you're on the side of evil, you're just, well, evil. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 10 games that let you be a psychopath. Starting off at number 10, let's hit a classic. It's Dragon Age Origins. This is real classic BioWare here, folks. Back at the height of their power, they were giving players the opportunity to be the most pointlessly cruel, vindictive, and downright nasty SOB possible. The keyword here is games that let you be a psychopath, not games where you're automatically a psycho, where you have to be a psycho, where your character is just a psycho, but rather ones that let you be good, evil, or somewhere in between. And I mean, the point is so you can pick evil. Like I said in the intro, it doesn't necessarily mean on the side of evil, but all of your fellow good guys would definitely question your methods. Now, a lot of games with so-called evil options can end up being disappointing for one reason or another, but Dragon Age does not have that issue. You can be a real piece of work if you want to be. I mean, one of the first things you can do past the prologue is find a wounded soldier out in the woods. You can stop and help him, like most players would, or you can choose to completely ignore him. When Alistair calls you out, you get the option of slitting the guy's throat just so you can say the guy's already dead.
We don't have time? What, you have an urgent meeting somewhere? Does the word insane mean anything to you?
Alistair makes a joke about how crazy he thinks you are, but I would think after seeing something like that, you'd not want to really hang around a lot longer.
Remind me not to get injured anywhere near you.
It'd probably be a good idea if Alistair had booked it at that point, because if he's still with the party near the end of the game during the lands meet, you can actually choose to spare the main villain, but you can also have Alistair executed for pretty much no reason. This is a game where you can kill a kid who's part of one of the main quests because you don't want to deal with the demon that's possessing him. Or you can make a deal with the demon, get basically nothing in return, you just do it to be a dick. Clearly, leaving the fate of the country in the Grey Warden's hands wasn't a great idea if you decide to play the game as a total psycho. At number 9 is Fallout New Vegas. One common complaint about the evil dialogue choices in games is that they lack subtlety. You're either a perfect saint or a mustache-twirling devil, tying damsels to the train tracks and going whenever you can. There is zero nuance. It's a real problem as far as these types of games go, but sometimes you're not here for rational villainy. You don't want an explanation or an excuse. You just want to be a huge prick for some reason. Thankfully, Fallout New Vegas has both. The amount of roleplay opportunities in New Vegas are absolutely staggering. You can be a well-intentioned extremist type or a straight-up psycho. For example, there's a small unmarked quest where a little kid asks you to help find their teddy bear.
Hi again. Have you found Mr. Cuddles?
The obvious thing to do would be to find the bear, return it, and get a small reward. But if you want to be a psycho, you can sell the bear and tell the little girl her bear is dead.
No, not Mr. Cuddles.
Just the most petty kinds of cruelty, and the game is full of stuff like this. One quest with former NCR sharpshooter Craig Boone involves finding the person who sold his wife into slavery. You're meant to lure them to a specific spot and Boone will kill them, but there's nothing stopping you from ignoring the investigation and picking someone random, literally random, for him to kill. No matter who you eventually pin the crime on, Boone will kill them, no matter how innocent they actually are. You can sell your own companions into slavery. You can have a man cooked and eaten. The obvious joke involves fava beans and some fine Chianti, but you get the point. The list really goes on and on. There is some absolutely mad debauchery you can get up to in this game. And number 8 is the Mass Effect series. In theory, you're not really supposed to be straight up psychopathic in Mass Effect. Instead, it's supposed to be that you're either a paragon or a renegade. A paragon's by the books, loyal to council, respectful. A renegade is described by the Styx song of the same name. Morally gray, more of a hard ass, more interested in their own than humanity's interests, and willing to make the hard choices that other people don't want to make. That's the idea, anyway. If you're going full Renegade playthrough, you go through the game basically as a huge asshole that assaults civilians, constantly berates his crew, and actively tries to undermine the galactic order in order to make humanity more powerful. Allegedly. Maybe you're just doing it for fun. I don't know. A lot of the Renegade prompts make sense as a more cold-hearted kind of option, but a lot of them are just being cruel for no reason. Like meeting a fanboy named Conrad Werner in the first game, or as I personally liked to call him, Comrade Wiener. You can be nice to him, or you can blow him off.
The hero of Eden Prime. I am so honored to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And you are?
My name is Conrad. Conrad Werner. They say you killed more than 100 Geth on Eden Prime.
They say a lot of things. I was too busy killing them to count.
Hey, I know you're probably busy, but do you have time for a quick autograph?
Here you go.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. My wife is going to be so impressed. I'll let you get back to work. But next time you're on Earth, I'd love to buy you a drink. Thanks again.
But you also have the option of being a total nutcase, pointing a gun in his face, and scaring the shit out of him. I mean, he's just an overexcited fan. Is that really necessary, Commander Shepard? Oh yeah, and you also get the option to genocide an entire race.
We must ensure that this facility and its secrets are destroyed.
Destroyed? I don't think so. Our people are dying. This cure can save them.
If that cure leaves this planet, the Krogan will become unstoppable. We can't make the same mistake again.
We are not a mistake.
Yeah, I guess Commander Shepard gets promoted to the Fuhrer in that one. You can also kill your own crewmate Rex if he disagrees with your course of action. You can get the entire console killed for pretty much no reason. And then you can make the asshole bureaucrat the leader of the Citadel just because you want everybody to, have to deal with the asshole bureaucrat, who is, by the way, just awful. You'd think Shepard just want to, kill him, but I think Psychopath Shepard, maybe thinks a little bit more creatively in terms of his evil. I mean, that's not even counting some of the evil stuff you can do to Mass Effect 2, like allowing a serial killer to kill and replace a member of your crew for no reason other than because you can. It's stuff like this that makes Renegade less of a cowboy cop archetype and more of a straight-up psychopath. And number 7 is Baldur's Gate 3. It's an RPG with a huge emphasis on choice, set in the Sword Coast using a highly modified version of the Dungeons & Dragons rule set. Old D&D was obsessed with alignment. Evil was a viable way to play the game, and Baldur's Gate 3 really leans into that by making evil playthroughs almost the same level as good ones. You can do some absolutely heinous stuff, and a lot of it practically right from the start of the game. You can goad the druid leader into killing a little kid.
Please let me go. I'll be good, I swear.
Well, Paladin, what say you?
No, please, you can't.
Now, Wrath.
No.
You can sneak into the goblin camp, straight up kill the archdruid while he's still in bear form by showing the goblin children throwing rocks at him how it's really done. There's a dog that can follow you the entire game, and if you want to be a real dick, you can return it to its abusive owner in Act 3 for absolutely no reward. They just lock up the dog and you never see him again. It's purely there for you to be an irredeemable bastard. That's not even counting the entire Dark Urge origin, where you can be a full-on serial killer and not even care about it. You can kill your own companions just because you feel like it. Sure, the real drama with the Dark Urge is that you're supposed to resist your murderous urges, but you can also accept them. Just go in. Go all in, psycho.
A hand? Anyone?
This branch of flesh is begging to be pruned, and its sap sucked from.
Mistress Eyelids, stop! Cease, you lose! Ah! Ah!
As soon as the dreams cross the threshold of your imagination, you snap back to realize they have all come true.
At number 6 is Deltarune. This is a weird one. So in Toby Fox's first game, Undertale, it was a secret route where you can kill literally every living thing in the game world. That's some psycho stuff, but somehow they came up with something even more messed up for the follow-up game, Deltarune. In Chapter 2, there's an even more secret route that's called either the Snow Grave or the Weird Route, where you team up with this girl named Noelle who has ice powers. Normally, there is no way to kill enemies in the game. You either spare them or drive them off when you attack them, but by using ice magic, you can freeze the enemy and leave them that way forever. So it's just another genocide route, right? Sort of, but what makes it way more messed up is that the character Noelle protests that you're doing it the entire game. Noelle acts confused at first, then frustrated, then scared. At certain points, refuses straight up to do what you want, but if you just keep forcing, Noelle does whatever you want against their will, they eventually just succumb and you completely drain them of personality. That's what makes the route feel so messed up. It's not just that you're doing something evil, you're deliberately forcing someone else to do evil against their wishes. Obviously, just a fictional character, but yeah, it's messed up. And number 5 is Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. What makes this game interesting is that being a psychopath is sort of the normal state of being in Warhammer. Your character, who's been endowed with a universal amount of wealth and power, isn't supposed to care about the little guy or mourn the dead or treat those below you with dignity and respect. In this universe, there are people that matter, and then there's everyone else. And everyone else exists in service to you. So not being psychopathic is actually considered unusual in this game, and sometimes even straight up seditious. It's up to the player how far they're willing to go with it, but with the proper loyalist, you can do some pretty messed up stuff. Now, you don't have to. You can actually be a good guy, but, who doesn't want to violently repress a workers' strike from time to time, right? You can do that. You can make functionaries become mindless automatons. You can glass entire planets before the population gets a chance to escape. And that's playing normally. If you want to be evil, you can be even worse. You can have like half your party executed on the spot just because you feel like it. You can ruin people's lives on a whim, never give it a second thought. And because of the setting, it's not just seen as something sometimes necessary, it's actually praiseworthy. People respect you for being a psychopath, as long as you're a loyalist. It's one of the few games where trying to be nice makes the game harder, so being a proper good guy is an option, but in this world, being a psycho is the safer and easier route.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. One fewer target. Indeed. Reduced to dust. I will do my duty. It will be done.
Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deeds is worthless. None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
High momentum.
There is movement in the Empyrean.
At number 4 is Alpha Protocol. The spy role-playing game is meant to let players be one of the 3 JBs, James Bond, Jason Bourne, or Jack Bauer. But even Jack Bauer at his most deranged wouldn't do the stuff Alpha Protocol lets you do if you want. Almost every named character can be executed during a dialogue scene of some kind. Some, like Marburg, are difficult to trigger, but it's possible. You can make deals with terrorists. And no, I don't mean letting them go for pragmatic reasons. You can literally just cut a deal with them. And you later find out they're still killing innocent people. One of the more pointless acts of psychopathy is in Moscow, when you assault the mansion, one of your companions gets captured, and you could just kill them while they're tied up for literally no reason. I don't know, maybe we just don't tolerate burdens on this team, right? Maybe you're holding us back, you little tied up wiener. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Just gone. And here's the thing about this game. There's, relatively speaking, pretty evil choices you can make that actually make some kind of sense, but there's also stuff like killing the tied up guy for no good reason, where you're just a straight up psycho.
What you do now, huh? Kill me? That not get your missiles back.
Mike,
We need to know where those missiles went.
If we let him go, he could lead us to the people he sold the missiles to. Or they might come after him. Either way, we win.
But if he can't lead us to the buyers, then we've let a killer go, and more people will die. Remember that rocket attack in
Money, guns, yours, if you let me go.
I'll take the cash you made on the sales here, and the account number to the Saudi holdings you think no one knows about. It'll save me from having to hack the file.
Saudi holdings? But...
The cash and the account code.
I get you both. Here, I transmit to you. Number check out, see?
Good. Now get out of here before the Marines show.
Are you sure about this, Mike?
Yeah, if we just let him go without a bribe, he would have smelled a trap. I want him scared, not paranoid. And a little extra cash might prove useful later on.
Fair enough. Search the room, see what you can find.
And number 3 is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This game's interpretation of the dark side is not exactly subtle, but the amount of evil options you can take is, it's impressive. This was one of the first RPGs where there was really a serious effort to make good and evil feel really distinct with their own unique outcomes. Good is basically your standard RPG, but if you want to be evil, things get a lot nastier. I don't know why anyone would follow this guy around, but there's a quest early in the game where a woman is looking for a lost droid. Sure, you can be a goody two-shoes and just find him, or you can be a total nutcase and kill the droid, lie to the woman about what happened to it, so she just keeps looking for it and never knows what happened. Psycho stuff.
What? No. You'd make her suffer like that? You monster!
Near the end of the game, if you go full dark side, half your crew turns on you and you're forced to kill him. And to really twist the knife, you can make it so that the Wookiee Zalbar is forced to kill his partner while you watch. If that's not dark side stuff, I don't know what is dark side stuff. Those Wookiees just can't catch a break, can they? And number 2 is Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous. Owlcat games can be pretty complicated, balls hard, and buggy as hell, but they know how to make a proper evil playthrough. In Pathfinder 2, there's multiple ways to progress the main story called mythic paths, which change depending on your choices and your alignment. There's a total of 10 separate mythic paths in the game. Some change the game drastically, others only make minor changes, but they all determine how you progress through the story. Out of 10 paths, 5 of them I think would be considered evil. Some of them are more justifiable than others. Some of them let you play as more conflicted, complex characters. But if you take Swarm That Walks, that is the psychopath. Get it? Yeah, that's what you are now. A psychopath, because you took the psychopath. It's the ultimate evil path. It can only be unlocked by making multiple sinister and self-serving choices throughout the game. You get multiple moments where your character can stop, realize they're going too far, and back down. Real what am I becoming moments where they drop the dagger and back up looking at their hands before the kill. But if you choose to ignore all the warning signs, it's possible to be a living swarm that consumes everything it comes into contact with. When you go down this path, literally everyone turns on you. All of your allies become your enemy, but you're so powerful it doesn't matter, and everyone you consume just makes you stronger. There are more mundane forms of villainy in the game, but the Swarm That Walks is one of the most irredeemably evil choices you could ever make in any RPG. In general, this game is great for players who want to do weirder or more evil things. Being an evil character is as fully featured as being a good character, and in a game this long and dense, it's crazy to imagine how much work they had to put into making all of this unchecked psychopathy even possible.
I'll take care of it.
And finally, at number 1 is Persona 3. Being a psychopath just isn't about being pointlessly cruel and horribly narcissistic. In real life that we would consider psychotic, there's high-functioning psychopaths who aren't gibbering violent lunatics. It's more subtle. We might call them a sociopath, but I don't know, it doesn't matter. Whether you make that distinction or not, we're talking about somebody who's a manipulator, who engages in shallow relationships that aren't meant to be mutually beneficial, but rather they're designed to benefit the psychopath's motives or goals. You know someone like that. I know someone like that. Oh, do I know someone like that. thing about that is in your life, you generally work to avoid these people as, well, you don't want to interact with them at all. So you do it as little as you can. In Persona 3, you are that person. Your relationships are purely transactional. You form social links to improve your arcanas. You go out on dates and meet with your friends not because you enjoy the person's company or like them for who they are, but because of the things they offer you in terms of power. You're never just being yourself in this game. Instead, you're responding to questions in a way that you think will bring about the best response. It's something we all do on occasion, sure. Life is complex and often presents you with stuff that, well, there's really no other way to handle it. But at a certain point, if you really are friends with someone, you're going to run into disagreements. There are going to be personality clashes once in a while. And with a Persona protagonist who makes friends with as many people as humanly possible, they can go on dates with multiple girls at the same time. They can be part of many after-school activities, all while having the same blank expression on their face, and they do it because it's in their benefit to improve their relationship with as many characters as possible. In the real world, this sort of behavior is absolutely crazy, but in the context of the game, it makes perfect sense. I mean, these aren't real people. It doesn't matter what you do or say to them. You might as well gamify the relationships in the game, right? You can treat them as a means to an end because that's what they are. They are literally a gameplay mechanic. They are not actual people, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, a fair amount of them are well-rounded characters with interesting lives that you can care about to the extent that you can care about a fictional character in any story. But, do you? I do. That doesn't change the fact that that's literally the gameplay mechanics. And it's not a very flashy form of psychopathy, but that's why the game lets you deploy a few precision strike brutal put-downs on people that apparently are supposed to be your friends. Like implying that because someone is a girl, they automatically need your help, or insulting someone's cooking, or, and this one's pretty nuts, tell a little girl that her abusive parent will definitely forget her birthday. It's like, damn, dude, what did she ever do to you? Also, how do you think of that, man? You're crazy, Persona 3 protagonist. Absolutely crazy. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications. And as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on GameRanx.